Lots of people have asked Ava for a ravioli recipe. The problem is, which one? There are a ton of ravioli variations in Italy. They range from really simple classics that you can find all throughout Italy to a bit more advanced pasta that you'll only really find in one or two small villages. Today we're going to cover the whole spectrum with 3 ravioli recipes from beginner to intermediate to advanced. This video is sponsored by Catalina Crunch. Visit the link in the description below and use code PASTAGRAMMAR to get 15% off plus free shipping on any Catalina Crunch cereal pack.
The most basic ravioli dough is a normal egg fresh pasta, which means that is the pasta that you use to make fettuccine, pappardelle, tagliolini, lasagna, and also ravioli. Like with every fresh pasta dough, it needs to rest for at least 30 minutes. And while our dough is resting, we can take care of our stuffing. These kind of ravioli are called ravioli ricotta e spinaci, which means ricotta and spinach. And this is what I'm going to use for our stuffing. Plus some nutmeg, salt, black pepper, and obvious Parmigiano. We need a ricotta that isn't too wet. So what you can do is drain your ricotta overnight in a basket like that, obvious in the fridge, or you can use also something like that. To understand if you're feeling it has a good taste, the only thing that you can do is taste it a little bit. Mine is perfect. Oh, è buono! Ravioli is one of the few cases in which I prefer to use a pasta machine instead of rolling the dough by hands. If you don't want to destroy your pasta machine as my husband did, be sure that you start from the number 0 because it's thicker, and then from 0 you go all the way until the thickness that you want. I like to use the pasta machine for the ravioli, so I'm sure that my pasta it has the same thickness, so the ravioli they cook in the same way and in the same time. As you can see, my strip of pasta is enough long. I'm going to cut it in half so it will be much easier for me to roll it. This is the thickness that your ravioli pasta should have. I used the number 7 of the machine. Then, if you like your ravioli a little bit more thinner or a little bit more thicker, adjust the number of your pasta machine. What we want is having more or less 2 strips of pasta of the same size. Then we are going to place some of our filling. You can do with what do you say in English, sac à poche?
Oh, I can't remember what it's called.
See, it's the sack Sacco is the bag,
The bag
used
that you
for
squeeze
the...
things out of. What is that
Yes.
called? I can't remember. It's like a frosting bag. I don't know.
In Italian is called sac à poche, or also you can do with 2 teaspoons. Keep in mind to leave some space between 2 pieces of filling because you are going to close every single raviolo.
Before Eva explains how she starts forming the ravioli, a quick word from today's video sponsor. Longtime viewers might remember a video where I first examined the ingredients in some of my favorite breakfast cereals. Needless to say, I haven't felt super comfortable eating most of them regularly ever since. That's why I'm thrilled to have found Catalina Crunch cereal. Catalina Crunch offers 6 crave-worthy flavors: cinnamon toast, dark chocolate, chocolate peanut butter, honey graham, maple waffle, and fruity. They are all inspired by some of mine and probably some of your favorite childhood cereals. And by childhood, I mean now in adulthood. They taste amazing and completely satisfy my cravings for my old favorites. My personal favorite is cinnamon toast. It actually brings back fond memories eating it. Catalina Crunch is amazing whether you enjoy your breakfast cereal or whether you're looking for that midnight snack. But you don't have to feel guilty about this midnight snack. First of all, Catalina Crunch has 0 sugar. 0. As you can probably tell from the fact that I'm on a YouTube channel called Pasta Grammar, I love my carbs. But if you are a low-carb person, they are keto-friendly. A serving of Catalina Crunch has only 5 grams of net carbs. What's cool though is you don't eat it and go, is this keto food? They are also high protein for them gains. 11 grams per serving. The cereal is made with clean ingredients, nothing artificial, no artificial sweeteners, flavors, colors. Instead of sugar, they use monk fruit and stevia, and it's packed with plant protein and fiber, unlike our childhood favorites. You can get Catalina Crunch delivered right to your doorstep, which makes it convenient and healthy and delicious. I know that you guys have been eyeing Eva's homemade ricotta. My favorite way to eat Catalina Crunch is to mix it in with ricotta instead of milk. It is amazing. It is my go-to snack. Click the link down in the description below and use promo code PASTAGRAMMAR. You'll get 15% off any cereal pack, plus free shipping. If you're just trying Catalina Crunch for the first time, I recommend getting the variety pack. It has their best-selling flavors. Then, like me, you can figure out your favorite, cinnamon toast, and order a bunch of that, like a bunch. A big thank you to Catalina Crunch for sponsoring today's video.
Now we are going to cover the filling with the other strip of pasta and gentle try to take out the air. These are more or less the 3 options you have to cut your ravioli, to shape your ravioli. You can have a ravioli
Stamp.
stamp, you can have a ravioli cutter, or you can just have a knife. I'm going to use the ravioli stamp. Be sure to pinch the edges of the raviolo because in this way you avoid your raviolo to open and lost all the filling. With a stuffed pasta like ravioli, the real seasoning is inside, and that's why the sauce for the ravioli is a very simple sauce. For ravioli ricotta e spinaci, we are going to use butter and sage. Remember, ravioli is a fresh pasta, which means that they cook in 2, maximum 3 minutes. And now is the best moment because I can try them. but they are always amazing. Harper, do you want to try one?
More than anything in the world, Ron.
These may be the beginner ravioli that everyone learns first, but they're so good, you'll just keep coming back to them again and again and again.
For this raviolo, the dough is a little bit more complicated. I'm going to use all-purpose flour, warm water, and some olive oil. No egg in the dough.
So there's egg in the stuffing.
Certo. This is a raviolo that comes from the most famous island in Italy, which is Capri. So
Unless you think about Sicily.
yes.
Sicily is maybe a little bit more famous. Anyway, continue.
They are from Capri. I'm going to use mozzarella, smoked scamorza, parmigiano, 1 egg yolk, salt, pepper, and this time some marjoram. The original recipe requires for caciotta. Now, caciotta is a very simple cow cheese. The scamorza works very well. Then, if you can't find caciotta, if you can't find scamorza, you can use, for example, Asiago. It's not traditional from Capri because Asiago is from the north of Italy, but gives you the idea. With this kind of dough, I'm roll them a little bit thicker, which means instead of number 7, I stop at number 6. Ravioli aren't always squared. You can make also them circular with something like that. Same rule here for our ravioli. The sauce needs to be a very simple sauce. We can't skip our tomatoes. Let's see if they taste like Capri. Oh, yeah. All the cheese that just melt into your mouth with a little bit of sweet and acid of tomato sauce. I'm not going to ask you if you want to try them.
Yeah, you know the answer.
No, this time no. Mamma mia, Harper, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous, Harper.
I'll be
No, you
here.
gonna be no, come back here with a plate.
That is so rich and cheesy and fresh and amazing.
See, Harper, one.
Okay. One more.
These are the ravioli for the cheese lover.
Yes, if you are a cheese lover like me, this is the one for you.
With our third raviolo, we go a little bit crazier here. And we are going to make our raviolo dough with all-purpose flour and potatoes.
So it's like a gnocchi raviolo.
Yes and not, because while on the gnocchi you don't need to work on the dough so much. Here we need to work on it for a very long time. I boiled these potatoes before with the skin on and until it's tender. And it's very important to boil the potatoes in advance because you need a cold potato.
What's the ratio of potato to flour?
Exactly the same, 1:1. So if you have 200 grams of potato, you're going to use 200 grams of flour. 300 grams of potatoes, 300 grams of flour, 1:1. You need to knead it for a long time because we need this dough very, very elastic. This raviolo is different also by the name because it's not known, it's not famous in Italy as raviolo, but it's famous as Cjalsons. This is a raviolo that comes from Friuli, Venezia Giulia, which means up in the north of Italy, and is wild, not just in the dough but also in the filling, because we are going to use some ricotta cheese, some apple, some amaretti cookies, hazelnut, raisin, jam, cocoa powder, cinnamon, rum, some salt, and I think that I didn't forget anything, or maybe yes. It's very important to understand with Cjalsons that there isn't one recipe for all of them. But think about how many families there are in Friuli, Venezia Giulia, you end up having the right number of recipes for Cjalsons. Because this was a dish made really with what they had at home.
And I take it from what they had at home, they had a bit of a sweet tooth.
So yes, in part, in Carnia, because then if you go down a little bit, you find the stuffing also potatoes, also onion. So they mix savory and sweet. If your filling is a little bit too wet, like mine, what you can do is add just a little bit of breadcrumb. Traditionally, this recipe calls for smoked ricotta, but I don't have any smoked ricotta. So what I'm going to do is things that we do in the south of Italy, which means or in Calabria or in Sicily, and I'm going to bake the ricotta. When you bake the ricotta, it's very important that it is completely drained because we don't need the water in our oven. Then you just pinch a little bit more the side of your Cjalsons, no? Because one of the particularity, the characteristic of this raviolo is that he needs to stand. This third raviolo has an even simpler sauce because our sauce is just made out of butter, maybe with something else on top. Now put some cinnamon on top. And do you remember that ricotta that I baked earlier? The smell of the spices, the cinnamon, of the rum and the chocolate. Buon appetito! Okay, this is one of that dish that a person, everyone in the world, they need to try because it's just an explosion of amazing flavor in your mouth. It's slightly sweet, but it's at the same time savory. It's too good.
Wow. It's really hard to describe what this dish is like to eat. You would think it would be a dessert, but it's not quite. It's not quite savory either. It's somewhere in between. Okay, I think I really need to go to Friuli.
Me too, Harper.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or you've never made ravioli before, we hope you guys learned something new about this amazing pasta today. If you try either the beginner, the intermediate, or the advanced recipe, please let us know. Tag us in a picture on Instagram @PastaGrammar. Like this pasta grammarian who made Ava's bomba calabrese recipe. That looks good.
That looks really good.
Also, check out our merch store down below. Thanks for checking it out. Help support the show. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Ciao.
Ciao.
I didn't think that I could like ricotta cheese more than I already do, but now I do. That is absolutely amazing.